So in Loki, there was a whole bunch of variants in there. I think if I was a variant, I think I would be a flaming hot Cheeto engineer.
Well, if I was a variant, I'd be a left Twix.
And if I was a variant, I'd probably like fast cars and family. My name would probably be Izzy Toretto. Hey, what's up, everybody?
I'm Ranuma,
And I'm Iz.
and welcome to the R&I podcast. What's up,
Welcome,
guys?
Welcome. Hey, yo, we brought him back because y'all love him so much.
We should just call it the RIL show.
Welcome back, Leo. What's up,
What's
man?
up, Leo?
It's been a long time.
It's been so long, man.
I know. It's been like 4 years.
It's been like last episode, dude. Like, for real. Dude.
I haven't seen you since Thanos, snapped his fingers,
No.
So.
True. That was
Brought
one
you
of the
back.
50% that went away.
One me. No.
Oh,
All right.
shoot.
So today's episode, we'll be definitely talking about the series Loki and how amazing it was. Especially, I mean, I absolutely love this series from the first episode. Only because everybody else has been talking, like, kind of like giving that hype for it, And I feel that the hype was like an understatement for how good it actually was. I did have some, issues with it, but all in all, I mean, it was good,
Yeah. No, I really liked it. I think it was just like all the other MCU Disney Plus series. It starts off really slow, but as it goes by, it goes like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Towards the middle, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked this series. I think it actually overthrew my favorite one, which would be Falcon and Winter Soldier. So Loki just went on top on that one. So yeah, I can't wait to talk about this one.
So you guys are gonna probably hate me. I'm sorry. I actually was not super impressed with the first episode. I was like, it didn't really catch my attention. I know.
No, I get what you're saying. That's what I say. But it goes for all of them,
But I agree. Like, it was very slow. The first episode was really slow. I didn't really enjoy it. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a try because WandaVision was kind of similar for me. I agree. It was like the first episode was okay, but it just got so much better as it went by. I'm like, oh, it was worth sticking it out.
Yeah.
It was definitely really good at the end of it.
Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering. I was like, what do you mean you weren't impressed? I was like, oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
I guess you were just piggybacking to what I was talking about.
Yeah, definitely,
So.
100%.
Right.
He was. Were you not impressed?
A couple of first things.
not entertained?
I know. I love that. Oh,
No.
jeez.
I was noticing in the beginning of the series, the TVA front desk dude. Kind of think he's like, he looks super Polynesian. I was like, yo, my cousin's on there. I was like, what the heck? And when what's that? Loki said, I'll turn you into a fish or whatever. And he's like, I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah. What about that is?
I was like, what's a fish?
What's
He's like,
that?
you don't know what a fish is? I'm just like, I was like, where does the knowledge come from for these guys? Do they not know of water?
He's over there. He's over there eating fish for that one scene when he got his lunchbox stolen or his little drink stolen.
Right.
He's over here eating fish.
He's like, oh, is this what you mean? No.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh snap, Polynesians up in the MCU. I mean, I know we have Korg or the guy who voices him, but and he's also a director, I believe, right? He directed Thor Ragnarok, and
did he?
Yeah, what's his name? Taiki. Yeah, he was Korg. But yeah, I was just like, but when I saw him, I was just like, oh snap, here we go. I was like, oh man, he looked like one of my cousins. I was just like, oh snap, did somebody from my family become an actor and not tell me? But
In the MCU? What?
and then during the times where Loki's trying to find the Tesseract, and all of a sudden he's like, these are Infinity Stones, and I'm like,
They're just all in there.
yeah. The Tesseract is like a portion of the Power Stone,
Uh-huh.
and there was the Power Stone in there. And actually, looking at my notes, I didn't know that they did not have the Mind Stone there.
Yeah.
I could have sworn they did, but I don't remember.
Well, it's a yellow one, and I was looking at some pictures on the internet. I'm like, where is the yellow one? There's no Mind
Huh?
Stone. I
there
think
was
the
a
only
red
one that
one.
had.
There was a red one, yeah.
And the red one is supposed to be a sludge. That's what Thor said in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
He said the Reality Stone isn't much of a stone. It's really more of like a sludge, or not sludge.
Or a paperweight in this show, apparently.
Yeah,
So.
yo, I was just like, yeah, just like the Tesseract just looks so insignificant all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like the first MCU films were all about the Tesseract, and then all of a sudden it's just there, like nothing.
You like how
Paperweight.
they just like made their entire the past like what 12 15 years of movies just become useless with
Yep.
this one scene. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what we're all fighting for, this is what the universe was trying to prevent from happening, and we have like 15 of them in this drawer right here. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could
Yes.
just come, we
It's
would
like,
have
which
given
one?
we
Did
would
you
have
want
given it
this
to you.
one? The purple one.
Hey, but which one? Now that I'll add to this later. Never mind. But for right now, let's just keep going, because something just popped in my head, and I'm sure you guys were more aware of it than I was. But we'll see. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep-
All right.
You sure you don't want to say it because you might forget it?
No, I'll definitely remember,
He's like, I'm gonna write this down in my notes really quick. Hold on.
Okay.
which makes a lot of sense to me now.
All right.
All right, you got something, Ranuma? Like,
Well, you can go ahead because you got a huge essay on your side. I just wanted to talk about the Easter eggs. You know, I think that's my favorite part of MCU is the Easter eggs that they bring out. But
Okay.
yeah, let's go start off with you. Is what you got?
Okay. So in the beginning of the show, we already know that it's the Loki that's in this series is not the Loki that we all knew and ended up loving in the end. It was actually a completely new orphaned Loki. You remember? You know what I'm saying? Because he just found out that he's actually not of Asgard. He's a frost giant, and so he was like literally having an identity crisis, like right around that time. And then he gets spanked by the Avengers, and was going to get taken to jail. But he didn't go to jail. He ended up going to the TVA. And what was incredible about Loki's performance, or Tom's performance, is how he was still kind of he had to maintain the first Avengers movie version of himself, and then he had to all of a sudden learn how to be the one that we remember him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was so just like, why am I not king? I mean, I'm just as good, as Thor, if not better. You know what I mean? Like, he had a purpose, and so of course he found out he wasn't, the true brothers with Thor.
Yeah.
And then you see how, he sees his past, or the past of his, of not variant version of himself, and he sees how he's lived and how he dies, and it really humbled him in like such a small amount of time that they explained his story to himself. It's almost like we got the fast forwarded version, but he got like the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I really liked how his character changed, even though that he was just like, no, this is probably fake. No, this is probably fake. It actually took him a while, or it didn't take him that long to be like, all right, okay, all right, I understand my position. Let's do this. All right. And so you can see him changing characters and growing as a character,
Right.
because he opened up to Mobius. And that I really like that part, how he was able to learn so much of himself in such a small amount of time, and Mobius being the one he tells that whole story to.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he went through a big character change in this whole 6 episodes, and like you said, in a short amount of time, and then it was a big character change. So now all of a sudden we see Loki as, would you say, not an antagonist anymore? Because you know how he came out, he came out swinging at the Avengers, and then, like what you said, he had to do that full 180. So I think Loki is just going to be his own character now. I don't think he'll be all the way good, only because of who he is. He's a god of mischief, So I think he's just going to he'll play the good man, like the good guy part in his own way, and at the same time probably doing bad stuff. I don't know, but I guess that's something that we gotta see and witness. And I think he's gonna be in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Are we sure? Are we sure he's gonna be in it?
I think I want to say he's in it, because if you looked at the artwork that Doctor Strange, oh man, I keep forgetting what the movie is called, Multiverse of Madness or whatever.
Madness in the Multiverse.
He is a cast member in Madness in the Multiverse. Doctor Strange in the Multi-Universe of Madness is what it's called.
Oh, Multi-Universe of Madness.
Multi-Universe of Madness. Because
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
But he is casted as Loki. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah. So in the artwork, it had Doctor Strange's cloak. It had Scarlet Witch's, her little, whatever you call it, the headband, I guess. And then it had Loki's little helmet, the horns and stuff. So I'm guessing he's going to be in it, because he played a huge part in that show, in Loki. He and Sylvie did something that just exploded the whole universe. But more on that later. So
exploded the whole timeline. There was a sacred timeline. Like that was the major plot, is to not mess up the sacred timeline.
Right.
Yeah. But that one branch turned into like a billion branches.
Infinite amount of branches. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Because I don't know, like one thing kept creating after another. It was like almost like a roll of the dice, and every timeline branched off.
Mm-hmm.
And He Who Remains, the guy who, kind of watches everything, is the one that writes it all. I'm just like, oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you have any notable parts, Leo?
All of it, really. Like I said, it got so much. It just got so good as it went by.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like, not to piggyback once again, but but I do agree. Like, because if Loki was allowed to live at the end of, or pretty much at the beginning of, what was the movie he died in? Was it
Infinity War.
Endgames or Infinity War, right? That's the one he died
War.
in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he was allowed to live, right, if he didn't die by Thanos' hands, I think he would still have become the person he is now in the Loki series, right? I think watching himself die and watching like his mom pass away and all this other stuff, just the transformation he had to becoming a good guy, if you want to call him that, right? It just took longer because I think he became the same person in the end, whether it was in the show Loki or in Infinity War. He became the same person. The only difference is that in the movie he died. Right, he was killed by Thanos, and so he couldn't accomplish being a good guy anymore because his character ended there. But because he learned the changes earlier, right, now he has the opportunity to become what he could have became if he never died by Thanos' hands.
Man, there's a lot to talk about that, and that one part itself, because first, I know there's going to be a season 2 of Loki, so I'm just interested to know when it's going to end and when he gets out of this multiverse or this whole TVA ordeal,
Situation.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole situation, like where he ends up at, like, and what timeline does he come back to where he's in the ship with Thor? Like how soon? Because it's Ragnarok, right? It has to happen before Ragnarok, also, no?
Ragnarok ended where the Infinity War started, I believe, right? Because it was the
No.
same ship. Wasn't it the same ship when
Oh,
they left?
Yeah,
when they
it
left
was
Ragnarok. That's when Thanos came. And was like, "Hey, I'm here to kill
Yeah,
you."
because all the
Right, but it
Wasn't that all at the same
Oh
time
yeah,
period?
like it was the end of Ragnarok 3. Yeah,
yeah.
it was
yeah.
the beginning of Infinity War. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. It's just it's hard.
But the thing that gets me is that he talks about Ragnarok in the series. So, like, did that happen already, or while it was happening? Because
No, Mobius told him it happened already.
Yeah, because he was pulled.
Oh.
He was pulled out during. Was it Avengers 1?
Yeah, Avengers 1.
No, Avengers.
He was pulled out of
Yeah,
Avengers
pulled
1.
out Avengers
he was
1.
pulled
Yeah,
out in
you're right.
Avengers 1. Yeah,
So none of that stuff has happened yet. I mean, he had to see it all to happen,
Yeah,
right?
and and Mobius told him stuff too.
exactly, which sped up his emotional emotional growth. I guess you can kind
Yeah.
of say.
Yeah.
Seeing everything that because of him in part were
Mm-hmm.
caught, like things that he caused. I agree. Well, I mean, is he going to become a good guy like everybody else? No. He is still the god of mischief, and he will always be fighting that side of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I think he'll become more sensitive to situations around him? That he'll give it a little bit more thought before he does something? Sure, I can see that, but I'm sure there will be plenty of times where he'll just slip up and be himself, like always. You know?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
so here's another one. Kind of backing on what I was talking about earlier is that. Oh man, this is such a big thing for me because I was thinking about this the whole time. Because obviously, when a character dies in MCU, sometimes it really isn't that, like not all the time. Obviously, when Gamora dies, she comes back all of a sudden in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the whole Black Widow might be coming back, maybe, who knows? But did you guys remember when they all the Lokis met up and the classic Loki was talking about how he got his neck snapped by the Mad Titan himself, which in this case Thanos, but he was also talking about like how he created an illusion or a copy of himself,
Yep.
and that's how he survived. So now you guys are talking like as if Mobius is telling him what's going on in the future, so he's also getting some insights of what may happen to him in the future. So I'm pretty sure he has a lot of clues as soon as Thanos gets onto that ship with all the Asgardians and stuff. So don't you think? I don't.
That he would go there and change the outcome so that he can survive.
Yeah, that or maybe he's still alive.
You wait.
I don't know.
You think that Loki went to a specific time?
No. So what I'm trying to say is, you know how he pulls a dagger out on Thanos, and then
Right.
Thanos just grabs him and snaps his neck.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe that was just an illusion or whatever, like a copy.
I mean, the possibility is there.
Yeah, because
Well-
the classic Loki was talking about it. So
Only
I'm
the
like,
classic Loki can do that though, because the other Lokis can't have. They don't all share the same powers.
I thought they did. and I
True.
thought
No.
that's-
True, but
Sylvie couldn't do magic like our Loki does.
True, but you have to also remember that it was. I would say it's kind of a foreshadowing, right? When classic
Yeah.
Loki like makes in the entire Asgard, right? And what is it Loki says to what's her name? Sylvie. Right? What does
Right.
he say? I guess we're a lot more powerful than we think we are. That could be taken as we all have the same abilities. We just haven't been able to unlock all of our
Yeah.
abilities because
Yeah.
we've only
Some are
used the
dormant.
parts that we've only used the parts that we know because it was a necessity of the situation. You know?
Right.
So maybe, I can see that. Like Loki eventually understands how to make an illusion of himself,
Right.
Especially if he's going to be fighting all of the other He Who Remains, trying to stop them from all happening. He might have to become that powerful, and then more than right. And maybe the problem is, I guess we won't really know what happens until season 2 of Loki or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the next movie. Yeah.
What's going to happen? Is he going to try to prune all of the other timelines, or is he allowing it to happen? Because if he allows it to happen, why would he have to care about himself dying in a different timeline when he could already make his own timeline?
Right.
Well, there's a couple of things though on
many situations
on the death things that you brought up. So you said when people die, they come back. So Gamora did die. We have a different Gamora though.
Yeah, I didn't mean like they come back like the whole
and what you call
the character comes back.
We're also forgetting Pietro, Wanda's brother.
Pietro.
He died. That never came back. I don't even see.
He didn't sign that contract.
I haven't seen any kind of line to him coming back into the limelight. It's kind of messed up, maybe because they don't have X-Men yet. However, if the X-Men or when the X-Men does join the MCU, it is a possibility that he may come back then. He might be too old by then, but I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe they'll just use the X-Men version of Quicksilver,
which was pretty dope. I know we're not talking about, but that was really awesome to me.
Yeah, that was pretty
when
cool.
He showed, I'm like, he's technically the same person.
If Quicksilver, if they bought Quicksilver back, would be dope. So, okay. So, going off of Quicksilver, I guess. So, in the old Fantastic Four series, they were going up against Galactus, the what is it, the World Eater?
Yes.
And Galactus, we all know, is like a sentinel.
Yeah. I think that's the word.
Oversized sentinel.
And Galactus, that's who I thought He Who Remains was. I thought he was like Galactus or an Eternal. I thought he was an Eternal. Because it makes sense. He looked like he dresses like them.
He dresses like the Eternal, but
yeah. But then he starts to break down his character for us, and he just takes off layer after layer after layer. And I'm just like, so what he did was literally join other versions of him and just created like endless possibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And of course, it ended up being wars, but still, though, I'm just like, yo, that's something I would want to do. Like, that's something I would want to think up. Like, maybe even as a musician, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't know how to play that song, but this world of me, or this me in this world knows how to sing it and play it. Teach me how to do it. You know what I mean? And then that, I don't know. I just feel that was such a dope way to do it. But I mean, like, I would hope don't meet a more ambitious version of me where I'm gonna step on another me to get ahead. You know what I mean?
Which is what all the Lokis did in the bunker.
Which that's true, right? It's just like infinite amount of Lokis, and they all. It's like you all have the same character or same personality.
President Loki thought that he was gonna get away with it, but not.
Did you guys see the buff version or like the giant version of Loki in the hologram? And you just see Loki's face like.
He had some ideas, like
the Lok. Okay, so I was really disappointed that there weren't really any timekeepers. I was whack.
Androids.
It's androids. No.
More Ultrons.
I know. Oh man. And I'm just like, okay. And then that chick, the main bad girl, she was irritating me throughout the whole thing.
The judge.
Judge, whatever her last name or whatever name they used.
She's annoying.
I was so mad. I was so mad at her character a ton of times. I was just like, is she doing her job as an actor? I'm not sure because I didn't understand her. Like, there was no closure for her. You know what I mean? And 6 episodes won't do it for me. You know what I mean? I was just like, why does this have 6 episodes? Why didn't it have like 12 or 13? You know what I mean?
Season 2.
Ravonna.
maybe they did do it, and they just needed Doctor Strange 2 to happen before season 2.
Well, I mean, she said it. She told Morbius. What Morbius?
Mobius.
Mobius. She told Mobius what she's gonna do, right? She said the only person who is the only what was it that she said? Oh, pretty much like the only person who is free or has freedom is that person who has power, and that's exactly what she wanted to go find. She wanted to go find power, right?
Yeah.
Right. So she's gonna go out and she's gonna. I mean, she's gonna be a contender in the next season for sure. She's gonna be a problem.
Because remember, reality changed already. Because
Right.
remember when he went back into the TVA and the 3 timekeepers are no longer there,
Right.
and another a variant of, He Who Remains or whatever was there. I would just say, if you think about it, anybody could have that situation done. Like TVA is just a universe.
Of variants.
TVA is just in a universe. Now here's my next question. This is going to be a doozy.
Oh,
All right.
snaps.
So does Dormammu live in the same world that He Who Remains lives in?
What the heck?
Dormammu is from Doctor Strange. He was the guy that Doctor Strange fought. where he
the big
kept rewinding time.
Oh,
yeah.
that big dude that just kept going. Yeah.
So does
Dormammu lives outside of time.
Yes.
He Who
100%.
Remains also lives out of time within time.
So
Does that make sense?
my argument would be that He Who Remains does not live outside of time. He Who Remains lives at the end of time.
Yeah. He's at the end of time.
He's at the end of time. So he's always gonna be at at the end of it. No matter what's happening, nothing can happen after him because he's already at the end.
So Dormammu is on the side of it, like on the side.
But
like,
yeah, Dormammu lives
he's like-
outside of that
Mm-hmm.
timeline. He lives
Okay.
in the space in between the multiverses.
I think the quantum realm.
That is it. Yes, the
That's
quantum.
probably it. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. Okay.
Which I think He Who Remains is going to show up in. I think they're making another Ant-Man and Wasp movie,
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
and he's supposed to be in it. So it's just gonna be just a whole bunch of stuff going on. We got the timeline. We got the what did it call it? What did Ant-Man call his thing that he disappears to, or that he
It's the
disappeared?
quantum. It's the quantum realm.
The
quantum
quantum realm.
Yeah.
And then we have the different realities that Wanda can make, and then we have, it's just gonna be hard to keep up with.
Look, what you need to do from here on out is you need to get a book, a notebook, a spiral notebook, and you write on there Phase 4, and you write everything you watch, so you can keep a timeline of all the
Shoot.
situations. And you're like, okay, I know I watched this in Black Widow, okay, and this was in Loki. Yeah. Okay, I know where we're at. I think I have everything organized.
Black Widow is gonna be like the last movie that actually would make sense to me until I start watching the other movies. I think
Right. Oh yeah. No, it's gonna get crazy.
it's gonna
from
be
here.
chaotic. It's gonna be crazy.
I wonder how they're gonna do it, because spoiler, if you haven't watched last week's episode, we talked a little bit about time, and it was just like time is a difficult thing to keep track of, and it's gonna be more on the job of the director and the writers to do a good job of explaining time as they move forward. You know, don't cheap it, because it's just not going to make sense if you start going, oh, it's okay. No, we can't have any loopholes like that,
No.
because it leaves everybody unsatisfied with the situation.
Right.
So
We
they have
haven't-
a lot of things on their hands right now. They have
Yeah, the writers are going to have a hard time
Yeah.
trying to keep all these multiverses timeline situation in check.
Yeah, and right now it's only timelines. We haven't
Yeah.
really even dived into multiverses yet.
Not yet.
Like we've only met
man.
other variants of Loki.
yeah.
Those aren't necessarily. Would that be considered other universes?
I guess technically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe.
I mean-
then we did kind of dive into it.
I
then.
mean, because you can't tell me that Sylvie and Loki are the same person, they're the same. They're the same person in the sense that they're both the Lokis of their universes.
Yeah.
Right. But if it wasn't like Loki became Sylvie at some point in his time, he didn't evolve into becoming Sylvie, right? Or he didn't evolve to become an alligator, right? So and you have to also think the young Loki killed Thor, but Thor is still alive in our Loki's older time period, right? So they're that's already multi-universes.
Okay, so they're variants of their different multi-universe,
right,
on one timeline.
Yes,
which is super weird.
Which is the sacred timeline. Oh wow!
Which is this? So the sacred timeline is the neutral place
of all the multiverse, yeah.
Which starts to kind of already break the whole idea of multi-universes and timeline situation, because technically every universe should have its own sacred timeline, right? Because how can you have multiple timelines for one universe? Because then how can you say that Sylvie is not the real Loki and this Loki is, right?
Right.
So they would have to be from different universes. You see, I'm telling you,
it's already crazy.
They've dipped their hands in it and they're like,
Oh man! Since we're talking about variants, I'm all about Easter eggs. Like I said, episode 5 was just like redunculous amounts. Has a redunculous amounts of Easter eggs. Obviously the Loki Gator, and then we have Thorg, the Frog Thor. He only got not even a second. Like it was like a split scene, like split second scene as it was panning down. You just see him in a little container. And apparently the number that was labeled on him was, I think that was when he was first introduced as the Frog Thor, when Loki in the comics turns into a frog, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I looked up that number and I was like, what does that mean?
Okay.
And then the giant yellow jacket helmet. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I didn't see it. Where was it?
Episode 5 is when they were walking. It was like a big, it was panned out like super far away, and they saw there was a helmet on the left side. And I was I was like, whose helmet is that? It's not Ant-Man's, because he has that little distinctive little circle in the front.
Right.
The only person I know would have it would be Wasp or Yellow Jacket. So it was actually Yellow Jacket's helmet.
Oh.
Because you know how he can be big too. So that's his helmet. And then the other one was Thanos' helicopter. So,
his helicopter.
Yeah, Thanos has a helicopter in the comics.
Oh,
it's so weird.
I didn't see that. I was like,
and it literally says Thanos on the side, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
I forgot where they were, but I just see a helicopter in the background.
Yeah, I see it.
And it says Thanos on it. And in the comics,
funny.
Thanos just runs around in that helicopter when he didn't have the Infinity Stones and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, this guy, he moved on up. He went from the helicopter to a big old spaceship. But I guess that's the multiverse's Thanos with the helicopter.
That's great. That is funny.
But yeah, and then I think it was... Oh, sorry, my Google's talking.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either, Google. It's just crazy. Episode 6 was... did you guys catch the opening scene? Or you know how they would have the theme song? But in episode 6, they open it up with a whole bunch of like... what is it like? You know how Iron Man goes under roofs, and it was just famous. Captain America says, "I can do this all day," and it was famous. Like their catchphrases and stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that part. Then yes,
yeah. So did you guys notice that the song that was playing in the very beginning was the same exact song that was playing when Steve Rogers went back in time, dancing with Peggy Carter?
Oh no, I didn't realize.
I did not notice
song.
that.
No,
it was like super slow, and I was like, "This song sounds so familiar." So I did go and watch Endgame at the very end, and it was the same song.
That's crazy. Bro.
It was like this
Good
is
catch.
That sucked, man.
I wouldn't have caught that at all. Yeah, no.
And then the only one I caught, because Black Panther is one of my favorite ones. You can hear him saying "Wakanda forever." I was like, oh, tear, you know. I was like, dang it, we're not gonna be hearing that again. You know, it'll be from somebody else. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
It's a lot of Easter eggs. I
Yeah.
think I watched episode 6 a couple times just to catch all those. But I think that was my favorite episode because a lot happened in that episode itself.
Was there only how many episodes? Was it 6 or 8?
There were 6.
6 episodes. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
short. So is and Falcon and Winter Soldier was what 8?
Yeah, they had
Or
8.
No.
But I think
Oh, yeah.
Falcon
It's
and
like-
Winter's...
No, they had 6 too.
No, they had 6.
It was short. Yeah, both of them. I know that both of them were really short in comparison to like
WandaVision?
WandaVision that had a full 12.
Oh, yeah. WandaVision had a lot.
No, WandaVision had 8.
Was it 8?
Yeah.
Oh,
A
a
lot,
lot shorter than I
meaning
expected. It's still 2 more.
Yeah, it was 866, and there will be another
Nice.
probably 6 for Loki too, I believe. But I'm not sure. I didn't look into it.
Probably. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I didn't get literally the only thing that I caught from any kind of Easter egg situation was classic Loki.
I know. Straight out of the comics.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Straight out of the
exactly.
comics. Underwear and awe.
Underwear.
Exactly.
All right, so since they were bringing up the magic portion, you remember when they were going over what Loki can do, or which Loki can do what?
Mm-hmm.
Sylvie could do she could enchant people and give them false memories, which is a dope power, more godlike power to me. Versus Loki's,
Changing himself.
he can change himself and throw magic beams or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And in the end, I believe Sylvie also threw magic at him in the end, like that last battle between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And I was just
Yeah.
like, when did she learn that? Well, just like maybe it's because they're Lokis. Also, that guy who said that he could project himself so well that the Mad Titan thought he killed him.
Yeah.
You remember when he was just like, he just like literally like created like this huge.
He created Asgard.
Asgard? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
And
Me and
I
my brother
think-
was like, "Oh, that's sick!"
that was a huge distraction. Huge
The
distraction.
hugest.
But did you also catch that Loki himself enchanted?
Oh yeah, he had to help enchant Eliath.
Right. So then he can also enchant, which
Right.
Yeah. Which brought back, I think it was Leo's question of, I think they can
They all
all do
have
it.
the
It's all
ability.
dormant.
he'll have this
Yeah.
ability. Yeah.
They have
They
to
just
unlock it.
never had to use them until
Yeah.
everybody
they
was
use
put
their
in a
skill points.
different situation.
Exactly. That's
So-
the
I
skill
guess
points.
So the Loki that we know should be able to do whatever the classic Loki did, right? Because
Yeah.
what I'm thinking is maybe all the Lokis, they all have their powers, but they all have their go-to kind of power, the go-to magic kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the magic that Loki has is also going to be very compatible with Scarlet Witch's magic.
Yeah,
Because
They-
so
I would-
far,
Yeah.
yeah, there's like 3 magics, right? There's the what was the lady's name? The witch that
Agatha.
Agatha. Hers
Yeah.
is purple,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Scarlet is red,
The red.
and then you have Loki who's green.
The green.
I mean, I wonder if there's
blue.
maybe if
Scar-
there's other magics that copy the or
Doctor
that
Strange.
copy the stones, like what you call Scarlet Witch's magic is more it comes from the stone, or what is it, the soul, no, the Vision Stone.
Yeah.
Like her power and Vision Stone is like basically the same. Like
Yeah,
she's as powerful as an Infinity Stone.
yeah.
Loki, however, is not as powerful as Infinity Stone. If you want to kind of put it on a power level scale, so it kind of goes to show that Loki probably will be in, or not, we already kind of know that he's going to be in the Doctor Strange 2 movie.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that Loki. I don't know how Loki was going to be put into it. until I found out that there was a ton of different types of Loki. So I'm like,
All
oh,
their
wait.
variants.
Yeah, all the variants of different worlds. I was like, okay,
Gosh, Izzy Toretto. Jeez.
yeah, family.
Where my hot Cheetos at?
And and my last thing that I noticed, I wasn't really surprised that Loki liked Loki. I mean Sylvie, excuse me, because he has a son that's a wolf, Fenrir, in the comics, and he also has he also turned himself into a horse and had sex with another horse and had a child. So Loki? Yes. Loki slept with a wolf and a horse in those forms because Loki is that dude.
He's
Okay?
the Zeus of the MCU of the Marvel universe.
He is. And he is so there was a little controversy in the news, or on, I want to say MSN News, or is it Google News? I forget who I get my news from in the mornings. But I was reading the news, and it says controversy on Loki's estranged relationship in his new series. And I was like, his estranged. I was like, is Loki with another dude or something like that? I was like, it's not unnatural. I mean, I was like,
he just loves himself.
Yeah, they never really disclosed his gender. Another thing, and I actually looked this one up, but because they kept, like what you said is they kept talking about it, but they did a close up on his profile and his gender literally said fluid.
Yeah.
Fluid.
Yeah.
makes sense,
Right? So, the heck?
but is the actor fluid?
That's
Because I believe I was just watching a YouTube video of Tom.
Tom
What's
Hiddleston?
his last name? Hiddleston. Yeah. His memory of all the Marvel cinematic movies is incredible. It was like, okay, dude, you definitely know about your universe, especially being being Loki. Loki is such an underrated character, but we all know that Loki's dope. You know what I'm saying? Loki is a great character. He definitely he is like the icon of misunderstandings. You know what I mean? And then
definitely.
Along the side of, oh yeah, this guy's freaking mischievous too. And one of my favorite lines is what he says to Sylvie. He says, "I get it. You can't trust anyone, and I can't be trusted." And I was just like,
dang.
Wow, y'all are in a
Some
pickle.
Trust issues. Gosh.
Like you said, you can't trust anyone, and I can't be trusted. I was like, dang, that's like a magnet that that's always like this.
Yeah.
Can't do that. It's always like that. That's what it is.
There's never friction at all.
There's ions ions related to this relationship. So yeah, you know what I mean. Like that part of Loki was really just kind of sets another tone for his character. Like whoever casted Tom, what is it? How do you say his last name?
I think it's Hiddleston.
Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Because I get him mixed up with another Middle Ditch. I think I forget. But anyway, so yeah, he's another actor from Silicon Valley. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so his character is always evolving whenever he's on the screen. I think the craziest or the most biggest change was in Thor 3 Ragnarok, and that's where Loki and Thor actually have that heart-to-heart. That's where we find out that Thor is finally going to let go of Loki, and he's all like, I thought the world of you. And Loki did everything for attention. And Thor was basically like, I'm done, bro. You can do what you got to do. And that's when he knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's where Loki kind of was like, all right, I kind of understand my place. in your eyes. Like you definitely like I can always be around, but you're not. I'm no longer that important anymore. You know.
Right. So I guess he's coming into a conclusion that he's just a pawn now. Which
Well, no, not as dark as that. Whoa.
and never mind, just kidding.
But he's more like okay, my mischief isn't going to work on Thor anymore, so I want to find
Right.
someone else,
Yeah.
like Sif. I did not see her coming through. I was just like, oh, Shouty is in the house.
Well, and like for me, when that relationship was growing, I'm like, totally makes sense. Loki is a narcissist by nature, and that is like the literal definition of loving oneself.
yeah.
Love someone, loving her is loving himself, right?
Right.
They're both they're very similar. I mean, despite a few differences, they're the same person. You know. So I was like, I can see that. It's a little disturbing to see you kiss yourself, but hey, you know, I can see why Loki would do that.
Right.
It's like me like, trying to kiss myself through a mirror. It's like, why would that's a little
Right.
a little weird.
And it wasn't even Loki that like initiated. It was. I'm pretty sure Sylvie was the one, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvie's like, kiss me, kiss me,
Kiss me,
man.
But yeah, no, so here was the thing I was gonna say earlier, and I'm gonna say it now.
Do it.
Which was about the Infinity Stones, and do you know which Infinity Stone is mostly inside of that drawer?
The
it
time
was the
one.
blue one, right?
The
It was
time.
the green one. It was the Time Stone, which makes a lot of sense
Oh
because
my
they be
God.
jacking up time a lot.
Yes.
Whoever's using that sucker is
Yep.
is just very in here, very there. It's like we need to
Oh man.
like, can we just go get all of these time stones and like stop them from because
Yeah.
it's making our job harder.
I literally watched it like 4 days ago, so I was just like, wait, let me see. I saw red and I was like, that was hella green.
Yeah,
wow.
there's
No, I
actually
didn't.
there's yeah most I went to look back at it. It was 7 green stones. I think it was 5 or 6 red stones, 3 or 4 purple stones, 1 blue stone, and 2 orange stones. So there is no Vision Stone, no yellow stone.
I didn't even notice that. I thought all
That
of
was
them
like the
in
first thing I saw. Was like, wait, where's Vision Stone at? Like, is
Yeah.
he still in his forehead or what? There's only one of
Yeah.
those or what?
I guess
I would have
I
like
guess nobody
looked for
really
the
wanted to grab
gauntlet.
that one.
I would look for the gauntlet, and I would have been like grabbing balls. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And snap your fingers. I'm just kidding.
And do my step.
So I think the one key takeaway for me before I give a grade to Loki was was his quote, and I had to look it up because it was funny. His whole explanation of what love is, because Sylvia was saying that love is hate, and then he goes and says, "Love is a dagger. It's a weapon to be wielded far away or up close. You can see yourself in it. It's beautiful until it makes you bleed. But ultimately, when you reach for it," and then Sylvie goes and says, "It isn't real." And she goes, "Love is an imaginary dagger." Terrible metaphor.
Sounds like a Loki thing to say, though. You know, what
I
mean?
know.
Yeah, at the moment.
I know. It was like so deceptive in all kinds, like.
Yeah, Tom Middleton's face when he's realizing that something's wrong is hilarious. He's like, you know that
Yeah, he's like,
hold on,
what?
like hold the phone. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Did you say the grade? I don't remember.
No,
He
I'm
didn't say
sorry.
a grade.
No, I didn't
No,
say the
he didn't.
grade. I just wanted to say that because that was like my favorite part of the whole series was how he mentioned that. Because it was first I was like, so into it. I was like, he's gonna say something poetic, and all of a sudden, that's a terrible metaphor. Anyways, I'm gonna give it an A. I love the series. Like I said, it beat Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Technically, Captain America.
Yeah,
Winter
Captain
Soldier's
America,
correct
Winter
too.
Soldier. Yeah. But yeah, they did a good job. I can't wait to see what season 2 is gonna entail, and I really do hope that he is incorporated in a good way in Doctor Strange's second movie with all of their powers combined. So
Right.
Well, it has to
But-
be this Loki.
yeah. But do you think Sylvie will be in there because they're Not
I don't.
really.
I don't think so. I don't think she's going to
I
be
don't
inside
think
of the
so.
main.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But definitely, this Loki from the show is the
Oh,
one
yeah.
that's going to be in there. It's 100%.
The
Or-
main Loki. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I actually just thought of this. Or they switched places.
In what way?
And
Why?
so Loki
It's
are
like, why?
so because they're not alive. They're not alive. They're missing. Okay, so Sylvie doesn't have to, but if Sylvie goes into the main one, then she can be in all the movies. If Loki goes into hers, then he can still be alive and just kind of like live the rest of his days with his brother and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. But Tom Middleton, I don't see him going anywhere. But that is also another possibility. Like,
I mean,
You-
with the whole direction that MCU is going to, like the female Thor and Iron Heart, I can see that happening. A female Loki.
Ironheart is female, right?
Yeah.
And that's the daughter,
Apparently
Morgan. Right. That's.
I don't know if it's a daughter, but in
There's
the
also Cassie.
comics, I think it's Cassie. She finds
No, that's Ant-Man's
Alright.
daughter.
I don't know that. I don't know, but she's Ironheart. That's all I know.
Because
Might know.
Ironheart, the chick, I believe, was Morgan. Excuse me. And the technician was the young kid from Iron Man 3.
Yep. Oh, that's right. So that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Loki. But that would be cool though if Loki can still reprise his role as Loki.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he is. I'm pretty sure he's finishing Phase 4 to some extent.
Oh, I see. Well, okay, so we'll go to my grading. So I did like Loki a lot. It was definitely I liked it a lot better than Wanda. I don't know if I liked it more than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I did like the comedy. It definitely matched Thor's tone because obviously Loki, that's where Loki is from, Thor. So the tone was perfect for him, and I did like it. I'm gonna probably have to give this one a B plus, like an 88, 89. Only because it literally said that I wanted it to be a closure kind of show. I didn't want to have another series because I'm just like, Loki needs to be on the big screen and yada yada yada, all that stuff. So I give it a B plus. That's my take on it.
All right. Cool. Man, I'm just, Randolph must be tired of carrying me today because I'm going to be piggybacking off of him the entire time.
No wonder my shoulders are kind of sore right now.
I'll give you a massage later. But I would give it an 8. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought, like I said, it got better. Every episode it just got better and better. I'm a fan of when people do stuff with timelines. I just hope they do a good. They just like time manipulation and going through time, like future, past, whatever the case may be. I'm a fan of all that stuff because it's just interesting. I just hope they do a good job of keeping that in order. But it was funny. It was very Loki-esque. It was they didn't. It felt it stood alone well. You didn't need Thor in there to keep his character alive or anything. He kept his own very well. And I mean, he is Loki, so I think what's his name did a great job playing him as always. And I can't wait until see what else happen. I do agree that I hated that there was a cliffhanger and we had to wait until season 2 to see anything. That was kind of irritating.
Yes.
Like that's really like it was a grade A show, but I mean, it's really. Dude.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I liked it too. It's all these Easter eggs that were just
The Easter
stuck
eggs were
everywhere.
pretty dope. And the ones you pointed out just
Now I'm gonna
added
have
to
to
it. It's like,
watch it
oh
again.
man, I'm always a fan of Easter eggs.
Yeah. So
Gotta check it out again.
Man. Anyways, well, can't wait to see Doctor Strange 2. And I think that's where we're going to be leading into after this. Is there going to be any more series after Loki? I know that
I don't
there's
remember.
that What If one.
What if? Yes, Hawkeye as well.
Hawkeye, is that a series? That's also
That's
or
gonna be a
movie?
series. That's gonna be a
Oh,
series.
okay.
Hawkeye, and What If. I believe the next movies will be Shang-Chi and the Eternals.
Yeah,
wait for
yeah,
Eternals.
Yep.
Eternals.
Yeah, so I think, when is Shang-Chi coming out? Is that next year or is that this year? Or is Eternals this year? And then Shang-Chi
I think Eternals is
next
this year.
I
Okay.
think. Let me look it up. It's this year. Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings this year. Oh, September 3rd. Ooh, that's coming in hot. Ooh, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Oh, and Eternals is on the 5th of November.
Oh, so they're both this year. Okay, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you to White Wong Media. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the links are down below. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next time.